Hello and welcome to another episode of Formula Food. We're back. There's been a long break. Life has been chaos, but anyway, we're back. It doesn't matter. Last weekend was the Spanish Grand Prix, so I'm playing catch up. Today we are making paella because we're Spanish Grand Prix, Spanish food, paella or paella, depending on what you call it. We're making chicken and chorizo paella. I've got some chorizo here, cut up, ready in a bowl. We're being professional these days and pre-preparing our ingredients because it makes for a quicker video. Otherwise it's 44 minutes of me cutting up vegetables. No one wants to watch that. Anyway, in this pan here we have some oil heating up. Let's just turn up the wick. Get some nice hot oil here. What we're going to do is we're going to brown off our chicken, and then once that's browned off we'll set it aside, reduce the heat to do the vegetables, mostly the chorizo, to get the nice sort of red fat and oil out of the chorizo. You're going to do the vegetables, then the rice goes in, then the chicken goes back in, and then it comes out the other end looking like a paella, supposedly. Don't worry, the full recipe will be available on Food Tribe. There'll be a link, like, where's it going to be? I'm trying to think of there, somewhere there in the description. So you can go follow that if you want to actually make this at home. That's what you want to do. So first up we need to put our chicken in there to brown off. So you'll come over here, there'll be a transition and you'll be by the big pan. So we've got our chicken just in the pan, that's just going to sear off quickly. I'm just going to give it a quick sprinkle with a bit of this. This is just Vegeta, it's like an all-purpose vegetable seasoning. I've used it in loads of my dishes before. Found it in Croatia first. It's starting to become quite apparent in sort of UK supermarkets. Really nice just for adding a bit of vegetable flavour. We'll just give the chicken another move round. And then once the chicken, we're not going to cook the chicken through fully at this stage. All we want to do here is just cook it around the outside. So we want to just literally get that white colour all over our chopped fillet, bits of fillet. I think it's breast that we're using here. You can use sort of whatever bits of chicken you want. The juicier, the sweeter, the better. Obviously, top tip, don't do what I did and just flop it into the pan, otherwise it spatters oil everywhere and then you have to clean that up later. Okay, as you can potentially hear on my microphone, that chicken is sizzling away nicely. It's just starting to go firm, which is what we're looking for, just to show that it's pretty much cooked through. If we give it a squeeze, any juice that's coming out is coming out nice and clear. Obviously, chicken, you've got to make sure that it's cooked properly. Don't want to be giving anyone food poisoning. So we'll just pop this down to one side. We'll drop the heat right down. And we'll set our chicken aside for just one moment. Okay, we've got our chicken over to one side. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to let the heat come out of the pan, put it on a really nice low heat, and then we're going to take our onions and we're just going to dump them in the pan along with, I think it's just the onions actually, yeah. And we're going to cook these until they're nice and soft and clear. At this point, if you want to put in any extra vegetables, if you want to chuck in some pepper, some celery, now is a good point to do that. So we're just going to put our onions in and leave them to cook down. So, as I said, what I've done is I've chucked in, off camera, some chopped up stick of celery. We've got a pepper in there as well, just green pepper, just add a bit more colour, a bit more vegetables, make things nice and healthy. And what we're going to do next is we need to introduce a bit more fat just for the vegetables to fry off in. And we're going to get our fat and a lovely amount of flavour from our chorizo. Obviously chorizo, really nice fatty sausage. As we put this in, it's going to release a lot of lovely natural oils from the pork, from the flavouring. There's a good paprika in there, and hopefully this will start giving our dish a very deep red colour. So, in that goes. Okay, so we've had our chorizo cooking away quite nicely. You can probably hear it sizzling. And we put in our herbs and spices so far. We've put in turmeric, we've put in paprika, a little bit of garlic powder. We've also got the vegeta in there as well. It is beginning to smell lovely and fragrant. The next thing we need to do is put the rice in so we can add some flavour to the rice. I've got it measured up here, so we just stick it in. We're using, I believe, 300 grams of paella rice. Just got to incorporate that into the mixture just so the colour and the flavour moves around. This should look absolutely lovely. I'll bring the camera over so you can see exactly what stage we're at. 1 second. So as you can see, it's already got that lovely bright yellowish paella colour. We've got our chunks of chorizo cooking away in there nicely. We've got some vegetables already incorporated into the mix. There is still some frozen peas to go in. Next thing we need to do is make some stock, which is why we've got 2 jugs out here, one here, one here. We've still got the chicken out. So we've got chicken stock cube in one, vegetable stock cube in the other. We need to make about, I think it's 580 millilitres. Check the recipe. The recipe will be in the description. That knows what's going on, not me, behind the camera and in front of the camera. Anyway, let's make some stock. Okay, so we're a few minutes into our rice simmering away. It's looking absolutely lovely. We'll give it a quick stir. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. The rice is starting to swell up, it's taking up the sort of fluids and the juices, we've got the flavour really baking in there. It smells perfect. So we've got 2 more things to put into. That's very hot. That would have almost been on the blooper reel, and there would have been a lot of shouting. Anyway, 2 more things left to go into our paella. We've got to put the chicken back in, otherwise it's not a chicken and chorizo paella. So we've got our chicken that we took out earlier to gently reintroduce this, because we don't want to splash our lovely paella juice everywhere, because not only will that stain anything it touches, we don't want to lose that flavour, we don't want to waste it. So we'll just reintroduce that chicken. Put the bowl back down to one side and get rid of the fork. And like I said, there's one more thing left to go in here now, and that is some frozen peas. These can be any frozen peas really, they're just frozen peas. You want about 200 grams of those. We're going to just get some ready, put them in the bowl so they're ready to go, and they will go into the paella in the last 5 minutes. Comprende? Sì. Grazie. And all that's left to do now is dish up. So we'll get a nice big spoonful. 1, 2. A little bit of garnish for presentation. That's just chopped parsley, adds a little bit of flair. And one final thing. Best served with a cold beer. We've gone for Estrella because Spanish.